But if you want to be on our land, you have to come up front, check in, and be escorted. So,
why would you say that?
Because I don't allow anybody in here unless I know who they are and what they're doing. I didn't say you couldn't come. You'll be escorted.
Oh, if you want to come around with me, that's fine.
Yeah. But if you're leaving, then there's no problem.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
Well, then go up, check in the front office, tell them who you are, where you're from, and then we'll give you an escort.
Oh, I don't identify.
Doesn't matter. If you want to be here, I'll have to call police on you. I'm just asking you to come check in, and I'll give somebody to go with you. I didn't say you couldn't be on our property. We just don't allow access to anybody.
On whose property?
Ours, up here, cities.
Cities.
It belongs to the public.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha.
Public.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. It's just we don't allow people here unless we know who they are. Somebody could be doing wrong stuff back here that we have no idea. You could be spraying chemical poison on water pipes that we have no idea.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm just trying to protect everyone and give you access as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could have F-18 Hornets circling overhead, getting ready to call for a bombing run on you, but we don't all.
In today's video, we begin with a confrontation that reveals just how quickly a simple act of recording on public property can escalate when authority meets accountability. A man quietly gathering footage is approached by a sergeant who insists that he must check in, identify himself, and be escorted, despite being on public land. The sergeant explains that nobody is allowed in unless we know who they are, even suggesting the man could be spraying chemicals on water pipes. Calm and composed, the journalist explains that as an American exercising his Fourth Amendment right, he chooses not to identify himself to government officials without lawful cause. The tone is polite but firm, as he makes clear he is simply working on a story and intends to finish his task peacefully.
Just, huddle ourselves, or shouldn't, into a terror corner and fear for our lives.
I do because there are so many people that want to do bad things to other folks.
Well, I like to think, you're probably an astute individual that has the ability to read people pretty well. I probably don't come across as the evil overlord ready to annihilate the universe.
You're not.
So in that vein, like I said, I love being, first of all, an American, and I absolutely love my Fourth Amendment. I think it's one of the best things ever.
I do too.
So I just don't like to ID because you work for the government, and I just don't like IDing with the government. It's nothing personal, but at the same time, I just, want to finish my work and get back to it. So
okay, well, if you go check in up front, you'll be allowed access. If not, I'm going to call the police and have you removed.
Sure, yeah. If you want to give a 911 a call,
I guess you could certainly do that.
Have we not satisfied you with our services?
Oh, I'm not a customer. Oh yeah, like I said.
The sergeant continues pressing the issue, insisting that access requires identification and escorting, while the journalist maintains that public property does not require ID unless restricted by legally posted signs. The officer warns that refusal to check in will lead to a police call, to which the journalist calmly replies that he is free to contact 911. He clarifies that he is not a customer, but a journalist collecting B-roll footage for an investigative story. The conversation reveals a fundamental misunderstanding between constitutional rights and departmental policy. The sergeant insists that unknown people pose potential threats, while the journalist reminds him that citizens should not be treated as suspicious simply for exercising lawful freedoms in public spaces.
Working on a story, yeah.
So our customers don't think we do a good
Well,
job?
I can't get into that now. So there's a few different kinds of journalists out there. There's those that you see on TV, as anchors, and then there's ones like me that get our feet on the street. We're investigative journalists, so we get out there, and I'm just getting some B-roll footage right now, and that's about it. So.
Yeah, Woodward's coming over to patrol people, figure out what your deal is.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I don't want this to sound, rude or anything, but they're never going to know what I'm doing in any universe will that ever happen. I can promise you that.
We're used to dealing with people like you, so that's fine.
Used to dealing with journalists coming in to get B-roll footage.
Oh, now we know what you're doing.
Well, it says working on a story. Usually that's a journalist.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's better if you
Make an
might have
appointment or just
might have
show
gone
up.
through the front.
Oh yeah,
It's public property, but
Sure.
how would you feel if somebody came in and you were unaware and you'd never seen that person before? Wouldn't you be concerned on your own maybe safety?
no.
Oh,
I mean, we're all Americans, right? We all do our thing, and freedom's messy a little bit.
As the conversation continues, the journalist explains the differences between news anchors seen on television and investigative journalists who physically visit public sites. He emphasizes that advance notice would defeat the purpose of investigating public works, since it could lead to staff altering conditions before being recorded. The sergeant continues expressing that he and his staff feel uneasy when unfamiliar people are on the property without warning. The journalist counters that freedom is sometimes messy, but government employees must operate under the Constitution. He reassures them he is not a threat and simply performing lawful work. As he prepares to continue filming, the staff remain confused about his role, revealing a lack of familiarity with public transparency and accountability.
Times, but like I said, I'm working, and the idea, especially as to your point, giving you guys advance warning, that's the kind of thing anchors do. Investigative journalists, when they're out in the field working.
What are you investigating?
Public Works.
Public Works?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys get notice in advance, like, hey, this thing is going on, blah, 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 usually, and I'm not saying you two specifically, but some people will be like, uh-oh, he's going to come down. Let's clean it up, make it look really great. There'll be nothing to report on, right?
I don't know what you're looking to do. I don't know what
Well, yeah, I'm not
about Public Works, but
Yeah, I'm not going to share it with you now.
but I mean, at nighttime, this is closed. It's not public property.
Oh,
so it's not.
Well, it's public property. It's just not accessible after. Sure,
But
of
is
course,
it really
yeah.
accessible now to just anybody can come in here?
Well, public property.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I mean, you can look in RCW 9A52, 70, and 80. That's the trespass statutes for Washington State. And It's really clear. This would be Section 70 for outside. It's really clear. The defenses for criminal trespass found in Section 90 are really clear. If it's open to the public, if
So,
there's...
what else do you need to film, or are you just wanting a confrontation, or are you just gonna? You have a certain.
Okay, well,
agenda?
that's...
As he resumes filming, two officers from the local police department arrive. One identifies himself as Scott from the Ron Police Department and informs the journalist he is being recorded. The journalist provides his first name, Steve, but asserts he does not wish to provide further information. He clarifies that he is not detained and is engaged in a consensual interaction. When officers ask about his purpose, he repeats that he is a journalist working on a story, though he prefers not to reveal details. The officers suggest he should have checked in, claiming the property is not fully open to the public. Steve pushes back, explaining that public property is indeed accessible unless restricted by posted signage or specific legal authority.
Or goal, or what?
Weird that there's a couple of... Yeah, thanks, George. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, I mean,
to answer one question of yours, which is, do I have more video and photo to get? Yes.
Okay.
Why would I want a confrontation? There's been nothing confrontational about me.
all right.
That's bizarre. I mean, why not ask a question? Are you getting ready to have a bombing run take place here? Are you going to have paratroopers come in and assault the place? I mean, that's just weird. I got all sorts of weird questions
well,
I can ask.
you're wearing a mask and no one else
It's a
is.
little chilly, man.
Oh, okay.
It's a little
He doesn't want
chilly.
us to film him, but
He doesn't want us to.
It's a little
One of
chilly.
those guys.
This guy will help you right here.
Yeah, it's a little
These
chilly.
two guys will help you.
All right. Well, I'm going to go finish up. You guys have a good day.
Are you leaving, sir?
What's that?
Seems like you're walking off. Are you leaving?
No, I'm working.
What kind of work?
Journalist.
I don't know if they've told you. Just let you know. Seems like you're doing for us. You are being recorded.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to let me know.
I'm
Walk
Scott with Renton Police Department.
The sergeant attempts to assert control, directing Steve to leave the property unless he follows procedure. Steve asks whether this is an order or a request, pressing the officer to clarify whether refusal would lead to arrest. The sergeant avoids direct answers, refusing to specify consequences. Instead, he labels Steve a suspicious male on property, where he shouldn't be doing things that are not normal. Steve explains that suspicion alone is not a crime, and cites updated Washington statutes confirming that criminal trespass does not apply to publicly accessible areas without proper notice. The officer's justification grows weaker as Steve calmly outlines the legal standard for public entry and implied consent on government property.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Yeah, what's your name?
Steve.
I'm sorry?
Steve.
Steve?
Yeah, I don't want to give you more than that, though.
That's fine. Yeah. What?
Is this consensual?
Why would it not be?
Well, I can't assume. I mean,
You're here talking.
this isn't
okay?
a detention or anything, is it?
I know what you're trying to do. You're not going to get a rise out of either of us.
Look.
Okay,
If you
so-
guys just want to get in your cars and leave, we can call it good right now. I'm not looking for a confrontation. I'm not even looking to have a conversation with you. I'm just looking to finish my work.
So what work are you doing?
I already
Other
said I'm
than
a journalist
trying to
working on a story.
provoke I'm sorry?
I'm a journalist working on a story.
What story?
I don't want to share it now.
Have
So
you-
you've probably seen multiple journalists. There's the
Have you checked
really
into
attractive ones on TV. That's not me. And then there's the ones that actually go out into the field
Have you
and
checked
work.
in with anybody here? Because this is not public property.
No, I think I'm good to go, man.
You're on city property, it's public property.
This isn't public property.
Not unless you have specific reasons to be here.
I do.
The public can be here.
Steve expands on his rights, explaining that he is gathering B-roll footage to complete a news story and that the officers are attempting to impede his First Amendment activity. He points out that no signs indicate the area is restricted and that journalists routinely enter public properties without prior approval. The sergeant insists the space is only open to those with specific reasons, but Steve counters that the law does not support such claims. He reiterates that had a "no trespassing" or "authorized personnel only" sign been present, he would have respected it. Instead, the only posted sign mentions video surveillance, confirming public access. The sergeant grows visibly irritated as his authority is challenged by clear legal reasoning.
But they need to check in at the office.
You don't have to identify to access public property. There's no restrictions on this property whatsoever. What restrictions are there?
I'll let you go on about your way, but you need to leave the property.
Okay, so you're telling me I have to leave the property right
Yes.
now? And if I don't leave the property, I'll be placed under arrest?
I didn't say that, did I?
Okay, so you're telling me, are you ordering me or are you asking me to leave? They're two different things.
I'm directing you to leave the property unless you follow procedure.
Okay, and if I don't leave the property, what happens?
We're not going to go down that road, Steve. Okay.
Well, look,
If you want to walk away, you stop to talk to us.
That's fine.
But I'm telling you, you need to leave the property.
And what happens if I don't leave?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to
I'm
it.
not doing that. I want a supervisor here.
I am the sergeant.
Yeah, well, there's people above sergeants.
You can deal with me.
Am I detained right now?
No, you're not.
Okay, so you don't suspect me of any crimes?
Nope.
Okay, then why are you guys here?
Because we have a suspicious male on property where they shouldn't be doing things that are not normal.
Now, just to be on the safe side here, I checked my handy dandy 2025.
The sergeant becomes increasingly defensive as Steve continues asserting his rights. When asked again whether he must leave, the sergeant avoids answering directly, repeating vague statements and refusing to define consequences. Steve requests a supervisor, only to be told the sergeant himself is the supervisor. The conversation highlights a common problem: officers enforcing feelings rather than law. Steve remains calm, explaining that without reasonable suspicion of a crime or posted restrictions, he is free to remain. Eventually, the sergeant concedes that Steve is free to go, but pointedly avoids acknowledging his right to stay. This contradictory stance exposes the shaky legal foundation behind the officer's demands.
Criminal Pocket Handbook.
Okay.
You know, because the session laws from 2024 may have updated it. They didn't change the laws. As much as I know Jay and Bob really wanted to change the laws to make suspicion a felony or even a misdemeanor, I checked it and it's still not a crime whatsoever. So the issue here,
What do you mean, what's not a crime?
suspicion.
You're right.
Okay, So look, you're trying to impede my First Amendment liberty to go around and gain B-roll footage, video and photo, so I can get my story completed. I have things to do here.
Okay.
You're ordering me off the property when you have no lawful authority to do so, because there's nothing that restricts access here. Now, if there was a sign up there that says, and I don't go places I'm not allowed to go, there's a sign up there that said no trespassing, authorized personnel only, something like that, it'd be a completely different situation.
Yeah.
I would head out at that point.
Okay.
This is publicly accessible. I'm just working
For
on a story
people
like
with a
other
purpose.
journalists do. What?
For people that come here with a directed purpose.
No. Section 90 of Chapter 52 in the RCWs is really clear on defenses against criminal trespass. Okay?
With the confrontation reaching its peak, Steve clarifies once more that he has no intent to harm, damage, or interfere with operations. The officers respond with distrust, stating they don't know that, despite having no evidence to suggest otherwise. Steve agrees he will continue working, but reminds them he is also free to pause and speak. Their discomfort becomes clear, not because he is doing anything wrong, but because he is operating independently and without giving them control. The officer's inability to articulate a lawful basis for removal demonstrates how easily authority can overstep when confronted with citizens who understand their rights.
This is open to the public right now. It's implied consent for entry. We know this because when you go through the front gate, the only sign that's there says you're under video
So if you
surveillance.
want to go do your story, then go do your story. You stop to talk to me.
No, you called out to ask me a question.
Are you leaving, sir?
What's that?
Seems like you're walking off. Are you leaving?
Now,
Okay, so you're free to go.
okay. And I don't have to leave the property.
Steve, you're free to go.
And like I said, I have no ill will intent against anyone. I'm not looking to harm or
know that.
damage
I
anything.
don't know that.
What's that?
I don't know that.
I know. I'm trying to make a good
So you
faith
stop to
effort.
turn around. If you want to go, go.
I will. I'm also free to stop here. I just want to let you know. I just want to assuage concern. All right. There you go.
The documentary closes by highlighting the broader message behind this encounter. The officers' actions exemplify why citizens must remain vigilant and informed about their constitutional protections. Even a sergeant with higher rank was willing to bluff, mislead, or intimidate to enforce compliance without legal grounds. Steve's calm, educated approach shows the power of understanding your rights and refusing to yield to unlawful pressure. Transparency, accountability, and public awareness are essential in preventing abuses of authority. Viewers are encouraged to learn their rights, support independent journalism, and help spread awareness. Subscribing, liking, and commenting amplifies these efforts and ensures more people are protected through knowledge.